Hello and welcome to Voicebites from Damn Good Voices. Today I'm joined by the wonderful actress and voiceover artist Helen Barford. Hey Helen,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm really well. How are you, Joel?
I'm very good, thanks. I'm really excited to chat to you today because this is a question that I like to ask voiceover artists because it's something that I'm terrified about. Ever since becoming a voiceover artist, my biggest fear is getting ill, booking a great job, and then the day before, a couple of days before, coming down with a cold. And my friends don't understand it. They're just like, you're just getting a cold, like whatever. But I'm like, no, no, no. If this means I have to cancel this job, then it means that I can't pay rent this month. So for us voiceover artists, it's really important that we stay in good health. Do you have any tips regarding what to do if you do feel yourself coming down with something just before a session?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the last thing you want, isn't it? To feel ill before you've got a job booked in. I suppose the first thing I would say is just try and keep calm about it. Just don't panic. Often these things, they're not as bad as you think. If you have got an agent, if you've got the job through an agent, I would suggest ringing your agent, letting them know, giving them a heads up, so it's not kind of a mad panic just before the job and you phone in and you say, I can't do it, I can't speak. So just let them know how you are. If it's not through an agent, see how you go. It might be worth giving the producer a call just so they can actually hear your voice and have a conversation about it. It may be that they can push the job back a few days to allow it to get better. If you do have time before the job, I'd just say rest as much as possible, really. Just rest your body, rest your voice if you can. Try and have a few days without speaking. I know that's really hard, but it really is good for your voice just to give it a good rest. I actually had a job booked in recently, an audio book that I was booked in to do, and it was a week's read. And the day before, it was a Sunday, I started to feel really quite unwell with a sore throat, and my voice was really scratchy. So I was just thinking, this is not going to sound good. An audio book can be actually quite challenging at the best of times. You're in a small voiceover booth, but reading for 8 hours a day, often 3 to 5 days on the trot. So you really do want to be feeling your best. So I just took myself off to bed. I got as much rest as possible. I rested my voice. I didn't speak to my partner or my two children for a good 24 hours, which I can actually highly recommend, whether or not. And I managed to feel well enough just in time. I managed to kick that sore throat just in time. So that would be my top tip. And also just have plenty to drink, just generally. Not only does it keep you well, but often you get that kind of dry mouth, that kind of tacky dry mouth. You're dehydrated. So just to keep on top of that, you never know that when you might get a voiceover demo come in that you need to kind of send off in the next hour. So it's always quite a good rule of thumb just to keep well hydrated and have plenty to drink.
Oh, absolutely. I'm terrible at drinking water. I'm always being reminded by friends and family to drink more water. It's a pity gin and tonic doesn't count because then I'd be okay.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, yeah. But why not? It's 12 o'clock somewhere. That's my rule.
That's a really good rule. But you raise a good point. It's all about communication, isn't it? I suppose it's harder if you don't have an agent because you might not want to call the producer because you don't want them to think that you're not capable of doing it.
You're also going to be wary of losing out on the job. Obviously, you don't want to lose out on the job, but there is a lot to be said for just being upfront and honest, and I think that goes in your favor at the end of the day.
And also, I've told my agent a couple of days before a session, like, oh, I'm just coming out of the back end of a cold now, and I can still hear it in my voice. And they've spoken to me on the phone and been like, you sound absolutely fine, Joel. There's nothing wrong with you. And I think sometimes it can actually sound worse to you in your head than it does to other people. That's the other reason for communicating with the people around you is just to ask them their opinion because you might not actually sound as bad as you think you do in your head.
And get someone else's perspective, like you say, on how you sound. It may be that you just sound absolutely fine and you're just being paranoid.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Well, thank you so much for your tips today, Helen. It's been great chatting to you.
Well, thank you for having me, Joel.
And thank you guys for watching Voice Bites. I'm Joel Wood and you've been listening to the brilliant Helen Barford. Leave us a comment down below and click subscribe. We've got plenty more videos coming soon and we'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot. Oh, it's 12 o'clock now, so I've got to go. Bye.
Bye.